So, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely fucking happy to have this man as a guest. The debut album was my album of 2021, multi-instrumentalist and the undisputed champion of social media smackdown, Wolf Van Halen. Thanks for joining me, Wolf.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you're coming to me from Spain. Who are you out with at the moment?
We are at Ressurection Fest, I believe. Pantera's here, Alter Bridge is here. I haven't seen the rest of the festival, but that's all I know so far. But yeah,
And I saw a
pretty
little
crazy.
video that Frank posted the other night of you singing with Pantera. How was that?
Yeah, that was not on my bingo card this year for sure. We were just going to watch the show side stage, and Phil Anselmo's wife came up to me and was like, "Hey, Max Cavalera is going to go up and sing Walk with the band. Do you want to?" And I immediately was like very trepidatious and was like, I don't know. But then Frank, Garrett, Ronnie, and John looked at me and was like, "You're doing this."
That would have
So
been
I
amazing, dude.
did. That was like the first time I've been on stage without an instrument. So that was very unnatural for me, but it was very fun. They were very kind, and it was a really fun experience.
That's amazing, man. Now, August 4th sees the release of Mammoth WVH II. Lucky enough to have a bit of a preview of it. And if everyone's wondering what it's like compared to the first one, it's for me, it's a natural progression. But man, there's some heavy shit on this album. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very excited for everybody to start listening to it. It really is like an evolution of the first one.
Were there many tracks that you had left over from the first one that you put onto this one, or was it all brand new stuff?
I think there are some ideas that have been around for a bit, but then are only sort of realized around the recording process. But yeah, no, there's not a bunch of old stuff. This is all very fresh material.
And once again, you've teamed up with Elvis on the production side of things. He seems to really not only push every band that he works with, but squeezes the most amount of every song. Would that be a pretty good assessment?
Yeah, he's wonderful to work with, and I think at least from my workflow, where I'm the only person in the band playing stuff, he's sort of that other half of the band to kind of bounce stuff off of, and we get that sort of creative uh, bounce between us. It's he's the best.
Now, a lot of people, we see them online, wonder why you play every instrument on the album when you have a band. It's quite obvious why you play every instrument. It's because you can and you like it. Now, you primarily started as a drummer. So, what was your favorite drum track on this album?
Probably the first one, I think. I think Right is a very rhythmic, sort of rooted in that rhythm, and a very fun song to play. So that's probably that's probably the one.
And then you move across to the guitar. So, the one thing I love about hearing your guitar playing is you can shred, but I love the fact that you do these little runs in songs rather than have it be all about tapping and how fast you can play. You just do these little sweet little runs that just tie things like bridges and verses together. Is that important to you that you make the solo breathe on its own as a nice little piece of music?
Yeah, definitely. To me, it's more about the construction of the song than anything else. And I think that's where, I think when Like a Pastime came out, there were the classic, you know, boomer fans were like, "Where's the solo?" And it's like it's not always like if I listen to a song just for 20 seconds after a core of the second chorus, that's a very unfulfilling way to listen to music. So when it comes to Mammoth and everything, it's all about the song construction. I think I did challenge myself a bit more on this album. I think there are more solos than in the last album, and I sort of pushed myself. But overall, yeah, I think the solos are sort of like like a mini song within a song.
Yeah,
So it just kind of is an important another bit of songwriting to go in the middle of the song.
of course. And you are very open about wearing your emotions on the outside. So was there a song on the album that really posed the biggest challenge to finish?
Not really. I really think it's just kind of all of it. Every bit of work I just kind of pour myself into that uh in order to complete, a Mammoth album, I always have to just sort of go to that place. But
Sure.
that's just because I care. That's just because I care so much about it that I put everything into it.
Now, you're obviously going to be playing a few songs from the album live. Is there any that you really can't wait to bust out?
Yeah, I think there are songs like Right or Optimist that I sort of wrote from the perspective of like, oh man, that'll be a really killer song that we have to play live. We've been jamming I'm All Right, and that's a song I'm really excited for people to hear. Uh, Everything is just feeling really good. Better Than You. Really, the whole album is a song. It's like whenever we have a headliner that's over an hour, it's like, man, we should just play the whole second album and just fit the favorites from the first album. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'm all right for me is that one I can't wait to hear live. I reckon that'd almost be a pretty good opener as well.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, that's a really fun one.
Now, I want to talk to you about your signature guitar and the fact that you've thrown a little tip of the hat in there doing the E hole.
Mhm.
Now, what is the most important thing for you when you want to bring a new guitar concept to life?
Well, with this, it's to offer something that that our brand at Fender that EVH doesn't offer, and it's something that didn't exist before. And I think it's really cool to see EVH's take on the semi hollow guitar. To take something that's very classic, um, and take that and add that sort of modern comfort and shreddability to it. It's got a most classic semi hollows have like really big, thick necks, but this one is very thin and shreddable, and it's sort of that perfect merging of those two worlds. So it's really exciting because this guitar didn't exist prior, and now it does, and I'm really excited for people to be able to play it.
The funny thing is, when you see you play it, the first thing that comes to my mind is like it's almost like old school BB King blues player, and then when you
Mhm.
hear you absolutely rip on it, it totally changes your perspective on looking at a guitar like that.
Yeah, I mean it's literally my it was the tobacco burst. It was our third prototype. I had played it live on the tour before this. Um, it was the whole album is basically that guitar.
Right.
Like it's the whole backbone of the album. So it's very happy with how they're turning out.
Now, how many songs on this album got the Frankenstrat treatment?
Just Take a Bow. I just thought that solo was special enough to sort of give it that flair.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a really stupid question, but I have to ask. Considering you are the grape of Mammoth WVH, do we see you as the next rocker to do a signature wine?
Probably not because I don't even drink. But if I were to, I would just go to my mom because she has a she's into doing that, and I know she grows her own like grapes and stuff at her house. So maybe we can do a a mammoth blend.
Perfect. And be like everyone else and do the coffee. You have to do the coffee.
Yeah, every band's got to do a coffee at some point, I guess, and I'm into that. I love me some coffee.
Well, you've got a guitar player there that's a bit of aficionado in your band, so I'm sure
Oh,
he has the
big
tips.
time. Oh, absolutely.
Now you're out doing some runner dates with Metallica, and I know you've got some next year as well. How big is that fucking stage, dude? Like seriously.
It's ridiculous. We've only done 5 or 6 shows, but I think by the last time we played with them, we finally got used to it. uh, and our placements on the stage and everything. Our next time we'll be playing with them will actually be the day the album comes out on August 4th. That'll be the start of the run in the States with Metallica and Pantera. So that'll be very exciting. But yeah, it took some getting used to for sure. But I think by now we've got it.
How do you feel now as a lead vocalist? You know, primarily you're a supporting bass player beforehand, and I know you're a multi-instrumentalist, but I'm sure it took you a little while to find your feet as a vocalist. How do you feel about it now, second album in?
It's really more a matter of just kind of putting the time in, and I think that's why I did it. I felt that guitar and singing were sort of my most unexplored parts of my musical skill. That it was really fun to sort of kind of just throw myself into the into the fire and get better that way. And I think 2 years into it, I've become a lot more comfortable in just sort of being myself up there and just doing it.
And you've also toured with people like Alter Bridge, you've been with Tremonti. So what kind of tips or anything did you get from Miles or Mark in that way?
Nothing super specific, just really just kind of watching Miles is not only just an incredible vocalist, but he's such a wonderful person and super supportive and super kind that just being able to watch really from all our opportunities for opening and playing with so many different bands, just being able to watch how they operate is a very telling and awesome sort of thing to be able to experience. Just to see how each band operates and how wonderful their crew is and everything. And Alter Bridge is definitely a prime example of just wonderful people and wonderful crew.
Sure. Now, Wolf, being on the road, people think it's glamorous. They think there's all this great stuff going on. Really, you're sitting around for 22 hours waiting for the 2 hours of the show. How do you help yourself, like mentally and physically? Do you have any little mantras or any little rituals that you do to keep yourself in check while you're on the road?
Not really. I'm just kind of a crazy person. Just kind of anything I can do to just get sleep. Really, I think sleep is the most important thing that I think you can possibly get, especially as a singer. That's the only you can't change the strings on your voice. You just got to be able to get as much rest as you can, and that can be tough. But sleep is key.
Sure. I'm going to ask you the $5 million question. When are we going to see you in Australia?
Dude, as soon as possible, I hope. Once the album's out, I know next year is wide open for us to tour everywhere that people want to see us. So I think, a run through Australia, New Zealand, and up to Japan should certainly be in our future because I love all those places. And I would be very excited to finally get up there.
Would you prefer to come down on your own or part of a festival, or you just want to come?
In any capacity, I'll take any possible way we can get out there.
Awesome, man. I am going to let you get ready for your show tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. I am so excited
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
world to hear Mammoth 2. It does excel on the first one hugely. Let's hope we hear you down here soon. I cannot wait to see you down live, man. Thanks so much for your time, Wolf.
Thank you so much, man. You take care.
All right, see you later. Bye.